Producciones Aguas Extremas presenta Programa especial con Jimmy Houston. A nombre de Mercury, Megacampeonato de Pesca de Pavón, Headwaters Fishing Club, Tecnopesca, Geo, Ranger Boats, Trailer Mats, Anaconda Camping Equipment.
Venezuela es sin lugar a dudas uno de los destinos de pesca deportiva más importantes del mundo. Cada año, miles de turistas de todas partes del mundo nos visitan para practicar la pesca en nuestras aguas. En esta oportunidad tenemos la visita de uno de los más grandes exponentes de la pesca deportiva a nivel mundial. Se trata de Jimmy Houston. Acompáñennos a descubrir aspectos importantes de su personalidad, su manera de pescar, las técnicas que utiliza y sus vivencias.
Partiendo del Pao de la Fortuna en Guri, fuimos en busca de Jimmy Houston, uno de los pescadores deportivos más grandes de todos los tiempos y figura de televisión por más de 30 años. Sabíamos que estaba grabando su programa y que su centro de operaciones sería el Headwaters Fishing Club, campamento de pesca ubicado en el sector conocido como Las Nieves, a unos 45 kilómetros de nuestro punto de partida. Guri es el lago artificial más grande de nuestro país y el octavo a nivel mundial. Tiene una extensión de 3.919 kilómetros cuadrados, área comparable a la del estado Carabobo. Su construcción comenzó en 1963 y antes de su inundación se realizaron varias jornadas de rescate y reubicación de animales para evitar que estos perdieran la vida con la subida de las aguas. Además de su magnitud como reservorio de agua y su gran capacidad para generar energía, Guri también es conocido mundialmente por la abundancia de la pesca y muy especialmente por la pesca de pavón. Cada año este lago es visitado por pescadores de todas partes del mundo. Tal es el caso de Jimmy Houston, quien tiene más de 20 años viniendo a pescar en él. Al regreso, el Megacampeonato de Pesca de Pavón vuelve a sus orígenes y este 15 de noviembre cerrará la temporada 2008 en el embalse más parro del estado Barinas. No se puede perder el mejor evento de pesca deportiva del país. Inscripciones abiertas en aguasextremas.com.
Si eres ecoturista, piloto o viajero, solo Global Expedition Outfitter te ofrece el respaldo de ARB y All Menemu para que tu aventura esté llena de las más intensas emociones. Con la más amplia gama de equipamiento para tu todoterreno, asesoría y servicio técnico especializado. Geo Global Expedition Outfitter. Disfruta la vida a todoterreno.
Distribuidor autorizado de los motores fuera de borda Mercury, el número 1 en el agua. El más completo taller de servicio técnico, la más amplia gama de repuestos y accesorios para su lancha, artículos para la pesca deportiva de las más afamadas marcas.
Tu aventura en el agua.
Este programa llega a ustedes por cortesía de Trailer Mats, siempre detrás de ti. El día había amanecido algo nublado y el lago un tanto movido. Sin embargo, la navegación fue placentera y luego de unos 40 minutos de navegación llegamos al Headwaters Fishing Club, sitio escogido por nuestro personaje como su cuartel general. Este campamento tiene cabañas equipadas con baño y aire acondicionado, donde confortablemente pueden hospedarse los pescadores que lo visiten, además de lanchas con guías entrenados que garantizan excelentes jornadas de pesca. También cuenta con un salón comedor que sirve de lugar para reuniones y comentar sobre las anécdotas y capturas del día. Su ubicación es privilegiada por la abundante posibilidad de pesca a escasos minutos de distancia. En el campamento nos informaron que Jimmy estaba pescando cerca de la boca del río Chihuahua, a unos 24 kilómetros de allí. Así que seguiremos nuestro viaje para llegar a su encuentro. Guri es impredecible y esta vez una fuerte lluvia nos sorprendió en el camino. Por eso es importante tener siempre a mano los implementos necesarios para estos casos.
Adelante, soldo, me toca. Adelante, soldo.
Ya estábamos a punto de encontrarnos con Jimmy, pues estaba a tan solo 1 kilómetro de distancia, grabando su programa de televisión. Al regreso,
Lo conseguimos. Hey Jimmy, how you doing? Nice to see you.
este programa llega a ustedes por cortesía de Anaconda Camping Equipment. James Houston nace en Tucson, Oklahoma, el 28 de julio de 1944. Hoy en día es catalogado como uno de los pescadores deportivos más grandes de todos los tiempos. Ha participado en múltiples torneos a lo largo de su carrera, siendo uno de los pescadores profesionales con mayores ingresos. Ha sido exaltado al Salón de la Fama de Pescadores de Bass en los Estados Unidos y al Salón de la Fama de Pescadores de Agua Dulce. Ha ganado 2 veces la distinción de Pescador del Año de la BASS, siendo este uno de los logros que más celebra. Desde hace 32 años conduce su programa de televisión, Jimmy Houston Outdoors, que se transmitió por más de 20 años a través de ESPN y actualmente sale al aire por Versus Country, canal especializado en actividades al aire libre. Y precisamente grabando su programa, encontramos a este grande de la pesca de visita en Venezuela, su destino preferido para pescar su pez favorito, el pavón.
Lo conseguimos. Hey Jimmy, how you doing? Nice to see you. Fine. How's been your fishing today?
Ahora veamos a Jimmy en acción.
Did you see that? He come unbuttoned, but did you see that? Holy cow.
De pesca que conoces aquí en Venezuela, ¿cuál es tu lugar favorito y por qué?
I like all the places I've been to. I love Guri because of the fact that it's just so beautiful here. It's a big lake. There's not much traffic on it. It's almost like having the world to yourself when you're here on Guri Lake. And there's a lot of big fish, and it can be challenging without a doubt. But you know, always, if you just continually look, you'll always find fish. I fished Montserrat, which is near Bolivar. It's on a ranch, private lake, probably a couple thousand acres. Tremendous amount of fish. Hardly ever catch a 10-pounder there, but you can easily catch 100, 150 peacocks a day. So that's obviously a tremendous trip. I fished the Senoroco, if I'm saying that correctly, river, and that's really one of my favorite places also because of the fact that there's a lot of fish there. There's really, really big fish, and the only thing that is a negative there is you have bugs, and it's difficult to get to that river. And the thing that's always amazed me in Guri Lake is no bugs. I don't know if it's the water or something that causes it here, but you don't have to worry about putting on any kind of bug spray or anything because there just are no bugs here. It's just something you just don't have to worry about. But so I don't know. I've also fished saltwater at Maikitia, gone out and fished on the saltwater boats there at Maikitia. So to me, my favorite place to fish is always wherever I am right now.
Y al regreso.
And we probably, came very, very close to all of us losing our lives that night. So this is the lake.
Teniendo a semejante maestro a nuestro lado, quisimos emularle y tratar de pescar unos pavones mientras grabábamos las imágenes de las capturas de nuestro invitado.
¿Cuál ha sido la experiencia más importante que has vivido en este lago?
Well, I've had, every fish is a remarkable experience, with a pavone. But I tell you, I've probably been as frightened on this lake as any lake that I've ever been on because you do have some violent storms that come up here. And this time of the year, when you get into the summertime, you're always going to see some rain every single day, not necessarily right where you are, but off in the distance you'll see some rain. And they had some pretty violent storms and really pretty hot storms, a lot of lightning, a lot of wind. And we had a really bad storm here one time when I was here with my wife and daughter probably 20 years ago. And we were way up in the upper end of the lake fishing out of Guri Dam at the Guri Lodge and maybe 25, 30 miles up lake. And we waited the storm out on a little island. And along 10, 11 o'clock at night, we decided the wind had died down enough to try to make it back. And so we did try to make it back. And we were in very small boats, not like the boats we had to fish out of now at Guri Lake, just little tiny boats, 20 or 30 horsepower motors, and huge giant waves. And we were constantly all the way back taking waves over in the boat, had buckets bailing the water out. And those boats obviously would have sunk if we'd filled them full of water, and not like the Rangers we have now that you can fill completely full of water and they're still going to float. And we probably, came very, very close to all of us losing our life that night. So this is a lake, just like any other lake, that you really have to respect. And it's beautiful out here today. We look at this lake today and you can run, even Enrique can run his 90-mile-an-hour Allison, 90 miles an hour out there today. But so much of the time when those storms come up, you just need to really be cautious on Guri Lake. But, we've had spectacular days where we've caught over 100 peacock bass. We've had days where we got into the peacock bass when they were schooling on bait. That 2 or 3 boats would get around. Everybody in every boat was catching fish every cast. It's a spectacular place to fish.
Así es, nuestro amigo Jimmy Houston, jovial y divertido.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Y al regreso,
Happy birthday to Jimmy. Happy birthday to Jimmy. Is that? I didn't blow up. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy.
este programa llega a ustedes por cortesía de Anaconda Camping Equipment. Nuestro día de pesca estaba por terminar, pero aún existe la posibilidad a última hora de obtener alguna captura.
Got him on a 20-pound trolley. That is a big giant peacock bass. That is what you come to do.
Y luego de una extensa jornada de pesca, nada mejor que regresar al campamento donde nos estaba esperando una suculenta cena. Pero las sorpresas no se detuvieron allí, pues resulta que nuestro invitado estaba de cumpleaños. Sí, Jimmy Houston cumplió 64 años y lo celebró pescando en Venezuela. Aquí, en Guri, los dueños del campamento le habían preparado una sorpresa.
Happy birthday to Jimmy. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Y al regreso, Jimmy Houston nos habla sobre las bondades del spinnerbait. Este programa llega a ustedes por cortesía de Ranger Boats, distribuido por Tecnopesca.
One of the overlooked baits for a lot of people in peacock bass fishing is a spinnerbait. And quite honestly, I've caught extremely large peacocks on a spinnerbait. In fact, the largest I've ever caught, 24 pounds, has come on a spinnerbait, and I caught a 22-pounder the exact same day. And one of the key things about a spinnerbait is you can fish at a lot of different depths. You fish it right on top of the water, and the strikes are just absolutely explosive. They will come from the side and hit that spinnerbait, and it's exciting to see. It's almost jerk the rod out of your hand. You just kind of leave a ripple on top of the water. You might want to break that blade out of the water occasionally and just let it pop like a little bait fish popping on top of the water. But you can fish at all different depths. When the fish are not really, really shallow, you can drop that bait down, fish it down 3, 4, 5 feet. If you want, get off some of the points and let it fall and slow roll down even 15 or 20 foot deep. And one of the things about it, you'll catch the pyara also on a spinnerbait, which gives you a bonus. don't need a lot of spinnerbaits. All you need in the way of spinnerbaits is white or chartreuse and white. Both colors work really well. You don't need any other color. I like willow leaf blades. Combination, either two willow leaf blades, one on the end needs to be a gold, the one in the middle can be either gold or nickel. That can be a round blade or another willow leaf blade. And you need a spinnerbait that's pretty tough. Now, I always bring the Booyah Jimmy Houston Vibraflex spinnerbait because it's got more flexible wire, creates more vibration than an ordinary spinnerbait. And we're able to move down to a little bit smaller wire, but it's a lot tougher. And they don't tear it up quite so quickly. Now, a peacock bass is going to destroy any bait, and they will also destroy a spinnerbait. You need a large hook. You might want to take and open the hook up just a tad, where that hook, instead of going straight across, goes slightly upward. 1/2 ounce, 3/4 ounce, 1 ounce. If you bring all three of those sizes, you'll be able to catch peacock bass under almost any conditions, anywhere where you have peacock bass. A spinnerbait, dynamite.
La destreza desarrollada a lo largo de los años en el uso de la caña de pescar le permiten a nuestro invitado hacer lanzamientos realmente sorprendentes.
Perfecto, Jordan, Michael Jordan.
No podíamos despedir este programa sin antes pedirle unos últimos consejos a este ícono de la pesca.
You know, if you're going to become a better fisherman, it works the same no matter what you're fishing for, where you're fishing. Go early and stay late. It's kind of like what the Democrats in America believe in vote early, vote often. Well, in fishing, if you're going to become a better fisherman, go early, stay late, fish as much as you possibly can. And also fish with as many different people as you can. One of the mistakes that a fisherman makes is going with the same individual all the time. Well, pretty soon you know everything that they know everything you know, and you're really not learning except when you have experiences on the water. One of the great things about fishing tournaments or bass clubs, and peacock bass clubs should be a popular thing that you start doing down here, where you're fishing a tournament maybe once a month. It's a little bass club tournament, might be 10 or 12 or 15 guys involved in it. You're drawing for partners. You're fishing with different people, and you're picking up little tips and hints from other fishermen all the time. The other thing, of course, is try to learn as much from a knowledge standpoint about the species of fish, how they operate at various times of the year, what types of water depths they like to get in the spring or in the summer or in the fall. One of the things about it is y'all's weather stays basically the same all year round, so you don't have a wide weather fluctuation as far as dictating what the fish does. But in many of your lakes, you have a wide fluctuation of water levels, so that obviously changes the fish. You have current and non-current situations. That dictates where the fish is. And there's a lot of ways that you can learn. One of the ways that you can learn is through television, watching outdoor shows that are peacock bass fishing. They'll tell you what they're doing. Pay attention to that. Magazines will have articles with people that will tell you exactly what they're doing, the types of lures, what rod and reel you need, the types of line. But there is no substitute for going. There's no substitute for spending time on the water. That's the only way that you're going to become a really, really good fisherman. Can I play? Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy.
Para Aguas Extremas ha sido un privilegio haber compartido con este gigante de la pesca. Esperamos que ustedes lo hayan disfrutado tanto como nosotros y los esperamos en una próxima oportunidad.